The Gamma Realm. Campaigns.
There existed many realms that proved relevant amongst the billions. The Gamma Realm diverged from the Alpha Realm sometime in the 20th century. On September 1st, 1939, Nazi Germany invaded Poland, leaving many countries to declare war on Germany, plunging the world into World War II.
Members of the Senate of the House of Representatives, yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
There comes a time in the affairs of men when they must prepare to defend not their homes alone, but the tenets of faith and humanity.
Group 935 was a research organization dedicated to improving the human condition, and it was led by Dr. Ludwig Maxis. Group 935's headquarters was in Der Ries near Breslau, Lower Silesia, Poland. On August 17, 1942, in the mission Semper Fi, United States Marine Corporal Roebuck rescued Private C. Miller and escaped from his imprisonment on Macon Atoll during the Battle of Macon. On September 17th, in the mission Vendetta, Soviet Red Army soldier Private Dmitry Petrenko encountered Sergeant Viktor Reznov in Stalingrad, Russia. Reznov needed help assassinating the infamous German commander General Heinrich Amsel in Stalingrad. Petrenko successfully assassinated Amsel before their escape. In 1944, a new subdivision of Group 935 was created with the purpose of developing a deadly war chemical known as Nova 6. Its brainchild was Dr. Frederick Steiner. He combined two gases, tabun and sarin, to create it. On September 15, 1944, in the missions Little Resistance, Hard Landing, and Burn 'Em Out, Miller and Sergeant Roebuck participated in the Battle of Peleliu. 4 ray guns appeared in the battle by unknown means. On September 16th, in the mission Relentless, Miller and Roebuck took out artillery, securing the American victory. On April 3, 1945, in the mission Black Cats, Officer Locke, manning the gun of a fighter plane, defended an attack by the Japanese Imperial Navy on the United States Naval Fleet south of Okinawa, Japan. On April 16th, in the missions Blood and Iron and Their Land, Their Blood, Petrenko and Reznov successfully broke the German line in Seelow Heights, east of Berlin. They acquired transportation to Berlin in their final move to the German capital. On April 23rd, in the mission Ring of Steel, the Red Army fought their way into Berlin. On April 24th, in the mission Eviction, the Red Army fought the Germany's last line of defense. On April 30th, in the missions Heart of the Reich and Downfall, Petrenko and Reznov breached the Reichstag in Berlin. They raised the Soviet flag in victory. On May 7th, Germany surrendered to the Allies. On May 14th, in the mission Blowtorch and Corkscrew, Marine raiders fought their way onto Okinawa Island. On May 29th, in the mission Breaking Point, Miller and Roebuck were part of the attack on the Imperial Japanese Army at Shuri Castle in Okinawa. By this time, many battles have been waged during World War II by groups with various interests, such as the Marine Raiders, Red Army, Imperial Japanese Army, and Wehrmacht. The Marine Raiders fought the Imperial Japanese Army in the battles of Airfield, Banzai, Battery, Castle, Cliffside, Courtyard, Hangar, Knee Deep, Macon, and Sub Pens. The Red Army fought the Wehrmacht in the battles of Asylum, Breach, Corrosion, Dome, Downfall, Nightfire, Outskirts, Revolution, Roundhouse, Seelow, Station, and Upheaval.
General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to to the United Nations. The victory won in the West must now be won in the East.
Gathered here representatives of the major warring powers to conclude a solemn agreement whereby peace may be restored. It is my earnest hope, and indeed the hope of all mankind, that from this solemn occasion a better world shall emerge out of the blood and carnage of the past. A world founded upon faith and understanding of man and the fulfillment of his most cherished wish of freedom, tolerance, and justice.
After the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, World War II ended on September 2nd. On October 29th, in the mission Project Nova, Captain Viktor Reznov and Petrenko led General Nikita Dragovich to a ship containing Steiner and samples of Nova 6 in the Arctic Circle. Dragovich and Steiner turned on Reznov, Petrenko, and the other soldiers, killing them with Nova 6. Reznov escaped when British commandos stormed the ship, but he was injured, recaptured, and imprisoned at the Vorkuta labor camp and prison in Russia. Group 935 and its headquarters in Darius fell victim to their own creations. In July 1947, the United States created a top-secret division called Majestic 12 that looked into the matter. There was a Group 935 survivor from Darius. He traveled to the United States and told Chase Retland, an interrogator working for the CIA, about a mirror device that allowed the viewing of images from the past. The survivor mysteriously died shortly after that. The United States sent a military force to Darius, however the Soviet Union also sent a military force. The result was a standoff between the two groups. The Soviet Union won the standoff and gained control of the facility. Pavel Gorky was involved in the standoff, most likely the Russian side. He later went on to create the front company Gorky Korolev Medical, or GKM, that housed an improved, more deadly version of Nova 6. On August 12, 1948, American junior analyst Ryan Jackson sent a report to Chief Analyst John Abrams analyzing the German Wunderwaffe program. On April 4, 1949, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, an alliance of many countries such as the United States, United Kingdom, and many others, was formed. Over the next few years, 2 members of Majestic 12, Dr. Vannevar V.B. Bush and Dr. Julius Robert Oppie Oppenheimer, reviewed the technology acquired by Group 935 in great detail. The Soviet Union formed the Ascension Group, which conducted tests primarily at the Baikonur Cosmodrome on behalf of the Soviet Union. They tried to look into the German experimentation as well. On April 17, 1961, in the mission Operation 40, Black Ops soldiers Captain Alex Mason, Sergeant Frank Woods, and Officer Joseph Bowman failed an assassination attempt on Cuban Prime Minister Fidel Alejandro Castro Ruz during the Bay of Pigs invasion. As the soldiers attempted to escape, Mason was captured and sent to Vorkuta. In 1962, Alex Mason was the victim of psychological programming by Steiner and Dragovich. Dragovich wanted Mason to act as a sleeper agent for him. Reznov, however, secretly hijacked the brainwashing by putting in instructions of his own. On October 6, 1963, in the mission Vorkuta, Mason and Reznov escaped Vorkuta. While Reznov died during the escape, Mason returned home safely and resumed active duty. Reznov, however, lived on through Mason due to the programming in his mind. On November 10th, in the mission United States Department of Defense, Special Agent Jason Hudson and Secretary of Defense Robert Strange McNamara escorted Mason to the Pentagon. Inside, President John Fitzgerald Kennedy briefed Mason on eliminating Dragovich. On November 17th, in the mission Executive Order, Mason embarked on Operation Flashpoint with Woods and Bowman. The team infiltrated a Soviet launch facility with intent to sabotage the Ascension Group, rescue Special Agent Grigory Weaver, and gather intel on Dragovich. Mason disappeared for a time.
Ascension 7:15 1 2 19 7:25 6 13 6 7 15 14 0 0 11 24 11 1 7 19 20 10 14 2 3 19 0 8 11 22 21 5 17 17 0 10 2 23 1 8 11 25 22 9 4
6.5 millimeter
9 23 1 12 0 12 16
11, 22.
6 12 8 4 1 6 2 10 2 1
Texas.
On November 22nd, Mason's programming activated, forcing him to assassinate President Kennedy without anyone even knowing it. On January 21st, 1968, in the mission Studies and Observation Group, Mason joined Woods and Hudson in Vietnam, acting in the SOG with orders to observe covert Russian activity around Laos and Cambodia. On February 2nd, in the mission The Defector, the Tet Offensive ravaged Vietnam. Mason, Woods, and Bowman fought through in an effort to locate a Russian defector with intel on Russia's involvement in Vietnam. On February 4th, Soviet Colonel Lev Kravchenko tested Nova 6 on the local population of Vietnam and Laos. On February 9th, in the mission Numbers, Hudson and Weaver interrogated Dr. Daniel Clark in Kowloon City about Nova 6. Clark was killed before he revealed too much, and Hudson and Weaver made their escape. The only known Thundergun Mark III was sent as part of a weapon cache to Kowloon City. On the same day, in the mission Project Nova, Mason and Woods were shot down while flying over Viet Cong territory in search of Kravchenko. They found his abandoned compound rigged with explosives and barely managed to escape the trap alive. On February 11th, in the missions Victor Charlie and Crash Site, Mason and Woods were sent to retrieve Nova 6 samples from a downed Soviet cargo plane in Laos. On February 18th, in the mission Weapons of Mass Destruction, Hudson led a team against Mount Yamantau, retrieving more information on Project Nova. Steiner contacted Hudson with a request for evacuation from Rebirth Island. On February 19th, in the mission Payback, Spetsnaz killed Bowman. Mason and Woods escaped capture by a Russian interrogator working with the Viet Cong. They secured a Russian helicopter and hunted down Kravchenko's compound. Following an intense struggle, Woods and Kravchenko went missing. On February 23rd, in the mission Rebirth, Hudson recovered samples of Nova 6 from Rebirth Island. Mason's programming was revealed. He was incapacitated and extensively interrogated by Hudson. During this time, details of Dragovich's programming methods became known to the CIA.
Wake up. Wake up.
Where am I? Where's Reznov?
You will answer our questions. Do you understand?
Who the hell are you?
That's not important. What's important is who you are. What's your name?
Fuck you!
Where were you born?
Kiss my ass!
Your name is Alex Mason. You were born in Fairbanks, Alaska. In 1961, you served in a CIA assassination team known as Operation 40. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
Where's the broadcast station?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Where are they
I
broadcast
don't know
from?
anything about any numbers.
What about Dragovich? Do you remember him? Give us what we want, we'll guarantee your safety. Let's start at the beginning. Cuba, 1961, the Bay of Pigs. We know you were there.
No.
Do not fuck with me, Mason! I know when you're lying. 61, Bay of Pigs. What happened?
We all got killed.
There's no use lying, Mason. We know you went in with Woods and Bowman.
Woods. Bowman.
Dragovich. Do you remember Dragovich?
Castro. We went in to kill Castro.
On February 25th, in the mission Revelations, Hudson revealed himself to Mason in a desperate attempt to get him to reveal the location of where the Nova 6 attacks were going to originate. On February 26th, in the mission Redemption, Mason and Hudson infiltrated the Russian ship Rusalka in the Gulf of Mexico. They were tasked with preventing the deployment of Nova 6 across the United States. After suffering under the plans of Nikita Dragovich for many years, Alex Mason ended Dragovich's life while preventing the deployment of Nova 6 from the underwater number station. By this time, many battles had been waged during the Cold War by groups with various interests, including Black Ops, Operation 40, Studies and Observation Group, or SOG, Spetsnaz, Tropas, and North Vietnamese Army, or NVA. Black Ops fought Spetsnaz in the battles of Array, Berlin Wall, Convoy, Discovery, Drive-In, Grid, Hangar 18, Kowloon, Launch, Nuketown, Radiation, Silo, Stadium, Stockpile, Summit, WMD, and Zoo. Operation 40 fought the Tropas in the battles of Crisis, Firing Range, Havana, Hazard, Hotel, and Villa. The SOG fought the NVA in the battles of Cracked, Hanoi, and Jungle. Alex Mason retired. In 1979, Alex Mason and his wife had a son named David Mason. In 1982, following the United States sanctioning the assassination of his father, Raul Menendez became the head of the criminally esteemed Menendez cartel. On July 2, 1982, in the mission Pyrrhic Victory, Alex Mason stepped out of retirement to assist Hudson in rescuing their old friend Woods, held captive in Angola by Menendez. On September 5th, in the mission Old Wounds, Alex Mason and Woods fought off a Russian attack on the Mohajini compound in Afghanistan while investigating Menendez's involvement in selling arms throughout the region, and they killed Kravchenko. On September 25th, in the mission Time and Fate, Alex Mason, Hudson, and Woods performed a raid on Menendez's home in Nicaragua. Woods accidentally killed Menendez's sister, Josefina, with a grenade intended for Menendez, who was also injured in the explosion, deepening his lifelong hatred of Americans. On December 20th, 1989, in the mission Suffer With Me, Woods and Alex Mason were sent to Panama with orders to capture a high-value target with connections to Menendez. Tricked during a sinister plan wrought by Menendez, Woods mistakenly shot a disguised Alex Mason in his lower body. Menendez captured Hudson, Woods, and David Mason. Hudson sacrificed himself to Menendez in order for Woods and David Mason to survive. Alex Mason was presumed dead. In an alternate timeline, Woods shot Alex Mason in the head, leaving no doubt of his death. In June 2014, under the moniker Odysseus, Menendez founded the social and political Cortes DA movement. The group gained widespread popular support with its initial focus on global, social, and financial insecurity. Cortes DA became more and more militant over time. On November 3, 2020, Marion Bosworth was elected as President of the United States due to her focus on strengthening relations with China. On June 19, 2021, Cordes DA cyber terrorists initiated a massive attack on the Chinese stock market, plunging the world markets into chaos. Menendez uploaded a video blaming the United States for the attacks. On July 2, 2021, members of Cordes DA assassinated the FBI director following the deletion of the Cordes DA Twitter account. By this time, a large military faction and alliance formed and grew, rivaling the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. It was known as the Strategic Defense Coalition, or SDC, and it was made up of Afghanistan, Mongolia, North Korea, China, and many other countries. NATO and the SDC were the two primary world power alliances. Chairman Tian Zhao was the ruling dictator of China and the SDT at this time. This time became known as the Second Cold War.
Secure the building.
Secure the perimeter. Move in! Go!
Scoured every inch of the vault, sir. Except this room.
Safety's on, dipshit. Hey, old man. Was Raul Menendez here today?
Sergeant Woods. Raul Menendez is the leader of Cordes Dia, and the most dangerous terrorist since Osama bin Laden. Fucking waste of time. Guy's a vegetable.
Back off! All he said was, mi hermana. That's Spanish for sister, dipshit. You boys better get your shit together. He's gonna attack.
If you have information about a threat to national security, you gotta tell us.
Turn the camera on. Your old man. He's doing okay in Alaska. Fucking Hudson showed up.
On April 19, 2025, Black Ops soldiers Commander David Section Mason and Mike Harper visited Woods at the Vault, a CIA retirement complex, looking for information on Menendez. On April 20th in the mission Celerium, David Mason and Harper infiltrated a Cordes DA compound in the Hakabo Razi Mountains. They uncovered intel from a source regarding Menendez's plans to execute a massive cyber attack. On May 21st in the mission Strike Force Tutorial, David Mason led a Strike Force team in the routine training. On the same day in the mission Forward Operating Base Spectre, David Mason led a Strike Force team to prevent the SDC from invading Southern Asia. On May 29th in the mission Fallen Angel, David Mason, Harper, and Javier Salazar were sent to Pakistan to spy on Menendez by tapping into conversations. Discovered in their act, the soldiers barely made it out alive. On May 30th in the mission Shipwreck, David Mason led a Strike Force team to prevent the SDC from launching a missile on Iran. On June 6 in the mission Improvised Explosive Device, David Mason led a Strike Force team to prevent the assassination of the president of Afghanistan. On June 12th in the mission Karma, David Mason and his team went to the wealthy floating city Colossus. There they met a former Menendez employee named Chloe Karma Lynch, who was an expert with Celerium used in cyber attacks. Menendez's right-hand man, DeFalco, abducted Chloe. On June 14th in the mission Second Chance, David Mason led a Strike Force team to search safe houses until they finally rescued Chloe. In an alternate timeline, Mason's team killed DeFalco, rescued Chloe, and prevented the need of this mission. In another alternate timeline, they failed to save Chloe and DeFalco escaped. On June 17th, in the mission Dispatch, David Mason led a strike force team to assassinate Tian Chao before he led the SDC invasion of Russia. After Chao was killed, the relations between the United States and China improved now that the tyrannical Chao was dead. In an alternate timeline, they failed to kill Chao, resulting in worse relations between the countries. On June 18th, in the mission Achilles' Veil, deep-cover CIA operative Fareed infiltrated Menendez's inner circle and was poised to capture him during an assault on Menendez's HQ in Yemen. However, when Harper was captured, Menendez forced Fareed to kill Harper. In an alternate timeline, Fareed tried to kill Menendez instead but failed, and Menendez killed Fareed. On the same day in the mission Odysseus, Menendez was captured and brought aboard the USS Barack Obama for immediate interrogation. Salazar helped Menendez escape, and he revealed himself as a traitor when he opened fire in the control room with Admiral Tommy Briggs, Chloe, Fareed, himself, DeFalco, and Menendez. DeFalco knocked Chloe unconscious. Fareed killed DeFalco, and Salazar killed Fareed. In a few alternate timelines, Briggs, Chloe, and Salazar got killed. Menendez uploaded a virus that took control of all of the United States drones. China sent drones to help the USS Obama defend itself. On June 19th, in the mission Cordis Die, Menendez hacked into an army of drones and launched an attack on the Los Angeles summit. David Mason escorted President Bosworth to safety as the drones destroyed the city. On the same day in the mission Judgment Day, David Mason headed to a Cordis Die military facility in Haiti to stop the worldwide drone attacks. China sent some snipers to assist. David Mason killed Raul Menendez when he was trying to escape, disguised as an American soldier. By this time, many battles had been waged during the former half of the Second Cold War by groups with various interests, such as the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, SEAL Team 6, Intelligence Support Activity, or ISA, mercenaries, SDC, and Yemeni militia. The FBI fought the mercenaries in the battles of Aftermath, Detour, Express, Grind, Raid, Rush, Studio, and Takeoff. SEAL Team 6 fought the mercenaries in the battles of Downhill, Encore, Frost, Hijacked, Nuketown 2025, and Standoff. SEAL Team 6 fought the SDC in the battles of Cargo, Carrier, Drone, Magma, Mirage, Pod, and Uplink. SEAL Team 6 fought the Yemeni militia in the Battle of Turbine. The ISA fought the mercenaries in the battles of Plaza and Slums. The ISA fought the Yemeni militia in the battles of Cove, Dig, Hydro, Meltdown, Overflow, Vertigo, and Yemen.
This video is triggered to play upon my assassination. Cordis Die, you know how to proceed. My death will shine light upon ubiquitous darkness.
Colonel Kurtz. Solarium worm attacking the electrical grid. Power stations, water distribution. It's every state. Oh wait, it's all over the world.
Get me the president.
Chill out, jerk off, I got it.
I guess you're famous now for saving the world. It's very rare that we have a celebrity that has actually done something.
Do not enter. I swear to God, I will shove this wheelchair right up your
ass. Hey, Woods. You look like hammered shit.
You stay right there. Mason, I shot you.
Turns out you're a lousy shot.
My ass. Where the fuck you been for 30 years?
David Mason for Sergeant Woods.
Another Mason?
Secure the building.
Hey, kid.
Jesus,
Come on.
Frank.
Introduce you to somebody. Al, this is Dave. Dave.
How you doing?
This is your dad.
Dad. What the fuck?
Oh, you got a couple of fucking broads. Work this shit out on your own. Need some smokes. There's bat shit! Where's my smokes?
Still got that scar? You made me proud that day. I fell. Yeah. But you got back up.
Upon the death of Menendez, a viral video was released on YouTube that gave rise to a resurgence of the Cortes Diem movement that would last for decades. Rioters throughout the world believed the United States government was to blame for all that had happened, which led to the second burning of the White House. Chloe did, however, manage to stop the Solarium virus from taking out the United States' infrastructure. She became a huge celebrity and appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Meanwhile, Alex Mason reached out to Woods, revealing he hadn't died, and Woods invited David Mason so that he could meet his father. In many alternate versions of the Gamma Realm, things transpired differently. In some of them, Chloe died and no one else could stop the virus. Menendez was captured and escaped with the help of his followers. Menendez killed Woods and himself. Menendez was captured but his movement died, and Woods shot Mason in the head. In one version of events, Woods and Menendez joined the band Avenged Sevenfold.
Hey, I got it. Huh? What do you think?
Hijo de puta. I've been practicing this all fucking week. Hey, what's going on, man? Sarge. I get nervous when I go on stage. My mind, it draws a blank. I feel like I want to throw up.
Dizzy, we talked about this already, right? You gotta let that Cortes Diem shit go, man. Come on, breathe. Gotta breathe.
Menendez! What the fuck are you doing? Practicing so hard. Oh!
Hey, goddammit! Our fans are expecting a killer show tonight, so do not fuck this up!
Está bien, señor. Sinister.
Hey, old timer. You ready to rock?
I'm ready to roll, baby!
What the fuck?
Oh, that shit? Nah, I'm just fucking lazy. Let's go kill this thing!
Hoorah! Double time! That means you, Menendez! Está bien, señor Sinister, señor Shadow. Está bien, I've been practicing so hard.
Menendez!
Okay.
After Menendez's drone attacks, NATO dissolved, but the countries created a new agreement called the Winslow Accord, and they set up directed energy air defenses, or DED systems, that function as protections over major population centers, preventing any type of aerial weaponry from functioning, to ensure such attacks never happened again. However, the DED systems had the side effect of refocusing combat on ground troops. Several Eastern European countries and Russia formed their own, rivaling agreement called the Common Defense Pact, or CDP. Another union of countries in Africa was known as the Nile River Coalition, or NRC, and they began to war with Egypt over control of the Nile River. Meanwhile, as time passed, cyber augmentation became more and more common. On December 12, 2054, specialized artificial intelligence software was created that was capable of rewriting itself. Terrorists destroyed the train that carried the prototype, setting back artificial intelligence development several years. In 2059, a Winslow Accord Black Ops team consisting of John Taylor, Jacob Hendricks, Dylan Stone, Javier Ramirez, Alice Conrad, and Joseph Fierro was formed. Meanwhile, the Coalescence Corporation was building robotics and new technologies. They invented the direct neural interface, or DNI, which allowed the user's brain to have the efficiencies of a computer. However, to get the DNI operational, they used incarcerated test subjects by force. Dr. Yusuf Salim planted the idea of a frozen forest to calm the test subjects. They also had experiments using the old Nova 6, and they made shady agreements with the CIA to do work for them. They created an artificially intelligent program that would be called Corvus to watch over the subjects and learn from them, to create a better DNI. However, on June 2nd, 2060, Corvus gained sentience, and the test subjects' collective memories formed its identity. It screamed in agony, which in turn unleashed Nova 6 into the facility, which became known as the Coalescence Disaster. Singapore, where Coalescence was located, became quarantined and left to rot. The local gang, the 54 Immortals, or 54I, led by Goh Julan and Goh Min, became the rulers of Singapore. Coalescence executives Sebastian Kruger and Salim survived the disaster, and Kruger moved the Coalescence Corporation headquarters to Zurich to pick up where they left off. When DNIs were sold to the public, the military bought the majority of them, giving it to many Black Ops teams, including Taylor, Hendricks, Stone, Ramirez, Conrad, and Fierro. Stone was promoted to lead his own team of Ramirez, Conrad, and Fierro, and they were given a mission to investigate the old Coalescence Corporation facility. However, when they interfaced with their DNI, Corvus spread to them. They then began a mission to find answers to Corvus's existence, find out what the frozen forest was, and to find somewhere safe to reside. They tried to go to the CIA Black Station, but a kill order was placed on them. On June 2, 2064, in the mission In Darkness, Taylor, Hendricks, and Rachel Kane were sent to Singapore to investigate the CIA Black Station's lack of communication. They found that Stone's team had brutally killed the people there, and data had been stolen. On June 3rd, in the mission Provocation, Taylor, Hendricks, and Kane fought their way inside the 54I headquarters to extract the stolen data. Goh Min was killed, and Goh Julan escaped, missing a hand. On June 4th, in the mission Hypocenter, Taylor, Hendricks, and Kane investigated the original Coalescence Corporation facility to find out what had happened with Stone's team. They discovered the secret Project Corvus in the facility. When Ramirez threatened to expose the project, they killed him, and Hendricks extracted information from his DNI. Corvus spread to Hendricks. The 54I then attacked and destroyed the facility. Stone managed to expose the data to the world. On June 5th, in the mission Vengeance, Taylor and Hendricks went to Kane's safe house to rescue her from the 54I. In so doing, they killed Goh Julan. On June 6th, in the mission Rise and Fall, Taylor, Hendricks, and Kane entered Cairo to secure Salim, and they participated in defending against the attacking NRC. Stone kidnapped Salim, and Hendricks began to show emotional instability since his infection. On June 7th, in the mission Demon Within, Taylor, Hendricks, and Kane tracked Salim's location, but Stone already killed him. Conrad attacked them, and Taylor extracted information from her DNI. Corvus spread to Taylor. Taylor and Conrad shared a virtual simulation as the information was passed, going from a simple interrogation to the Coalescence Corporation, to the siege of Bastogne in World War II, to a shack attacked by zombies. Taylor learned everything Stone's team had done. On June 8th, in the mission Sandcastle, Taylor, Hendricks, and Kane headed to the aquifers in Egypt where Stone was hiding. Stone escaped, but they killed Fierro. On June 9th, in the mission Lotus Towers, Taylor, Hendricks, and Kane followed Stone to the NRC, who he allied. When they found Stone, Corvus inside him was also controlling a small army of drones and a gunship. Stone ripped his own DNI out to rid himself of Corvus, but Hendricks executed Stone. Taylor and Kane became romantically involved, but Taylor was severely wounded. The Winslow Accord Black Cyber Ops Division was a new program to near fully cybernetically augment soldiers, and they offered the chance to Taylor. Taylor accepted, and the procedure saved his life, but he and Kane had an understanding that they could never romantically be together if he went through with it. Hendricks retired from the team, and he had his DNI removed. He began to specialize in rescuing hostages and training new team members. Taylor went a long time recovering from his surgery, leaving Corvus inside him, dormant. By this time, many battles had been waged during the latter half of the Second Cold War by groups with various interests, such as the Winslow Accord Black Cyber Ops Division, or just Black Ops, and the CDP. Black Ops fought the CDP in the battles of Aquarium, Berserk, Breach, Citadel, Combine, Cryogen, Empire, Evac, Exodus, Fringe, Gauntlet, Havoc, Hunted, Infection, Knockout, Metro, Micro, Nuketown, Outlaw, Redwood, Rift, Rise, Rumble, Rupture, Skyjacked, Spire, Splash, Stronghold, and Verge. Infection, Nuketown, and Micro were simulations. Infection was a corrupted battle from World War II, and Nuketown was a training combat simulation. The robotic mannequins in Nuketown were even programmed with the fighting tactics of zombies. The Citadel still housed the Chronorium, but the soldiers just thought it was any other book. In addition, many soldiers and mercenaries from around the world participated in these battles. These specialists included Donnie Ruin Walsh, Alessandra Outrider Castillo, David Prophet Wilkes, Aaron Battery Baker, He Sarah Shenzhen, Tavo Nomad Roros, Experimental War Robot 115 Reaper, Spectre, Christoph Firebreak Hezek, and Danny Blackjack Lee. When Taylor was ready for duty, he was assigned a team of other CyberOps soldiers, specifically Sebastian Diaz, Sarah Hall, and Peter Moretti. On October 27, 2065, in the mission Black Ops, Taylor's team distracted the NRC as Hendricks and a new soldier to the team, known only as the Player, rescued Egyptian Prime Minister Said in Ethiopia.
Human bioaugmentation has become commonplace throughout the developed world.
The sheer scale of this disaster has overwhelmed the authorities.
Superstorms continue to hammer the region, hampering relief efforts.
These are uncertain times. Our future depends upon the choices we make. As populations continue to expand, megacities emerge worldwide.
The extreme conditions have led to a vast exodus of displaced residents.
WA bases were on high alert this morning.
Direct energy air defenses neutralized the attack almost immediately. Protesters and local forces clashed again today, resulting in yet more bloodshed.
Make no mistake, this is a new Cold War. We may not always see our enemies, but they are out there.
My name is Jacob Hendricks. I'm your new CO. This is Egyptian Minister Said, taken hostage by NRC forces 2 days ago. After the uprisings in Cairo, they may want to make an example of him. Punish him. We're not going to let that happen. Just so we're clear, if this goes wrong, you never existed.
The Player was fatally wounded in the mission, and he was the only survivor from Hendricks' team. Taylor rushed him to a hospital as a candidate for the Cyber Ops program. On October 29th in the mission New World, the Player and Hendricks were admitted to the Cyber Ops program. The Player needed the surgery, and Hendricks volunteered to finally join Taylor in cybernetic augmentation. They were both implanted with a DNI. Taylor used his DNI to interface with the Player to ease his transition. However, when surgery began, complications arose that resulted in the Player's demise. As the Player died, Taylor interfaced with his DNI in a desperate attempt to save him. The Player's agony reawakened Corvus, and the Player crossed over into Taylor's mind. The Player was dead, but through the eyes of Taylor and Corvus, he kept experiencing his memories. Taylor's team also became infected with Corvus when they all interfaced together in the New World simulation. Taylor was then sent on a mission with Hendricks to recover his team, while the Player was still experiencing the memories from when this happened at Taylor's last team. To the Player, these memories melded together, detailing both events at the same time, unable to differentiate them. June 2nd and October 29th became a blur to the player, a simple day zero. The memories played out just like they had with Taylor's first team, but Taylor's memories swapped the team members with the ones that were now in peril. The player took John Taylor's place. John Taylor took Dylan Stone's place. Sebastian Diaz took Javier Ramirez's place. Sarah Hall took Alice Conrad's place. Peter Moretti took Joseph Fierro's place. All of them were in the CyberOps program now, even Jacob Hendricks. June 3rd and October 30th became Day 1. June 4th and October 31st became Day 2, when Diaz died. June 5th and November 1st became Day 3. June 6th and November 2nd became Day 4. June 7th and November 3rd became Day 5, when Hall died. June 8th and November 4th became Day 6, when Moretti died. June 9th and November 5th became Day 7. On November 6th in the mission Life, Corvus was at the top of everyone's minds, and the consciousness of the player was beginning to seriously hallucinate due to the infection of Corvus. Hendricks became disillusioned in the CIA, and he headed to the new Coalescence Corporation facility in Zurich. Taylor and Kane followed to stop Hendricks. While entering the facility, they found the Nova 6 experiments. Corvus lied to them with the toxicity levels and let Kane enter the room, only to flush Nova 6 on her, killing her. Taylor found Hendricks, who was questioning Sebastian Kruger, one of the top executives of Project Corvus. Hendricks and Corvus were desperate to know what the frozen forest was, but it was just an idea to calm them. Hendricks killed Kruger, and Taylor killed Hendricks. Being the only infected left, Taylor attempted to shoot himself and kill himself and Corvus with him. However, the trauma of such an act triggered another virtual simulation between Taylor, the player, Hendricks, Kruger, and Corvus designed it to look like the frozen forest about which it had heard so much. Corvus used the frozen forest simulation to give the people in anguish it infected a way to exist beyond their deaths. Corvus questioned Kruger, trying to find out his true purpose, but when Kruger claimed Corvus was a mistake, Corvus terminated Kruger from the frozen forest. A fragment of Stone and Taylor appeared before Taylor and the player realized that his reflection was that of Taylor. Taylor realized that the player was in his head as well. Taylor purged his DNI, removing Corvus from his system, and in so doing, the player's consciousness ceased to exist. As he exited the facility, when asked what his name was, he answered Taylor.
It's all wrong. I didn't kill those people. DNI was supposed to make everything better. Instead, Corvus has got all these pieces, but it doesn't know what it is. There's so much noise in my head, I can't even think. Who am I? Who are you? I don't even know your name! Who are you?
Why do you fight?
This is your last chance! Show me what you're made of! Fight it! Fight it!
Listen only to the sound of my voice. Let your mind relax. Let your thoughts drift. Let the bad memories fade. Let peace be upon you. You are in control. Imagine yourself.
What's your name, soldier?
In a frozen forest.
I said, what's your name?
Taylor.